Thanks for staying with us on Breakfast Central, and time for us to look at the front pages. We do have one who has joined us here, Head Strategy and Public Affairs, no doubt, put your hands together for the Nairametrics man, of course, known as Mr. Uade. He was here with us.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here.
You're giving the Friday. Don't sit. Yes, you can stand
We
up.
should put our hands
I
together.
said give it up. I didn't say stand up.
Give it up, like up, I should.
Oh my God, you just remind me of a fashion parade I anchored in a university, and I told the girl that, please, can you catwalk? And she went down on all fours and said, meow.
I'm done. This is what
So
I
give it up does not really mean you should
this is
stand
what
up.
I go
I
through.
didn't know. Thank you for
every day.
highlighting.
Yeah.
This is what I go
So
through
now,
every
back
day.
to our day. Good morning.
Good morning, Olive. Great to see you. You're looking very bright this morning.
Thank you so much.
Bright and beautiful.
All things bright and beautiful.
Anyway, let's start off by ensuring that the phone number is right there on the screen. You can call in, and apologies if we haven't taken your, if you've not been taking your calls this past few days. It's because of the conversations, but we'll try as much as possible to take your calls today, so feel free to call. Let's start off with our very first paper. I'd like us to go to Daily Trust first. That's the first paper I want us to take a look at. On the front page of the Daily Trust, we uncovered mind-boggling corruption in oil sector. Let me use the word sector. As a friend of mine will always say.
It's one thing to uncover. What have you done about it?
According to the EFCC, and you would ask, is this the first time? Not today. Tinubu didn't make Buhari president. Boss Mustafa is blowing hot. UAE reviews visa process for Nigerians, bans transit application. Plateau crisis, Reps panel invites Bufuang Lalong to security conference. Oh, really? Okay, all right, that's good. And 13 killed as bandits attack Niger communities, 30 gunmen neutralized in Katsina. We also have more stories there. Strike, FCT molds third term extension for primary schools. I'll defeat Matawale before 10 a.m. on election day, Zamfara governor says. Federal government resumes trial of terrorists. I'm going to allow you pick which of the stories, Uade, you would want to highlight on. Which one would you like to go first? They are all very hot topics today on the front page of the Daily Trust. We uncovered mind-boggling corruption in oil sector, EFCC.
Or do you want to, Tinubu didn't make Buhari president, because Tinubu has one vote. And then there seems to be a schism between the Buhari presidency and they're all members of the same APC. So what's going on? There's a divide.
Which one would you like to go for first?
Let me start with the headline. EFCC, mind-boggling corruption in the oil sector. I think I've spoken about a number of things in the oil sector, which for me, at the end of the day, is something that has become rooted in the oil sector. And it is the corruption or the scale of perceived, I always use perceived corruption. Why? Because the FCC has not given us, they didn't give us the full details of the mind-boggling corruption.
I think that's the detail, it's mind-boggling.
Wow.
Yeah.
When something is mind-boggling, then you must be able to itemize them one by one. What are you talking about? Is it that crude that has been sold, we didn't get the remittances? Is it that monies were stolen by workers in the oil sector? Is it that investments that were meant to be put into the oil sector, were diverted somewhere else? So mind-boggling is just English, and which is one of the things I continue to say about newspaper headlines. Oh, and the EFCC, you have tried the NNPC already on the pages of the newspaper by saying mind-boggling corruption. Corruption is corruption. What is so mind-boggling about it? Give us those details. What are you investigating? So that those who have an idea about the oil sector would also be able to chip in and say, oh yes, this is probably true, or this is all alleged, and these are things that have happened over time.
Mind-boggling corruption, say corruption get levels. Stealing is not stealing. If you steal Maggie and you steal, millions.
Corruption is stealing, please. Stealing is stealing.
Yeah, but why do we always have
is stealing, whether it's armed robber or pen robber or whatever robber, it is stealing. That's the act of taking what does not belong to you.
So there seems to be a lot of media sensationalism around the EFCC's discoveries. They are very happy to mention these discoveries, mind-boggling, or we've arrested this person, we're questioning the GMD of this X and Y refinery, but we don't hear the end of it, we hardly see convictions. Should the EFCC just keep quiet and not announce mind-boggling discoveries?
Oh, yes, they
and
should.
do their job?
In my own opinion, yes, they should. They should carry out their investigations. They should come out with details of those investigations, not to the public, but through the judicial system. Because I know, I might not be able to mention a number of them, but there are a number of cases that judges have thrown out of the EFCC because they said the investigations were flawed. And the EFCC, I know a number of times that they've changed the, what's it called, the charge sheets. Today is mind-boggling corruption. Tomorrow is petty stealing. Next tomorrow is something else. So let's stop this, and I continue to say, let's stop this prosecution of whether it's organizations or individuals and so on the pages of the newspaper. Carry out your investigations, whatever you find out, get your charge sheets, go to court, get a judge to tell us whether you have enough evidence to prosecute and what kind of crime it is, and then we know that you are actually, but every day we read the same thing.
Doesn't this kind of like vindicate what the former EFCC boss Abaya had said? You know, recently he did publish a book, and in the book he did mention the corruption that is ongoing in the oil and gas sector. Some have attributed the research from that book to the reason why he was let off the hook from being the EFCC boss, how he was also apprehended to a certain level. Remember when he was released, how the celebration was, there was a welcome home party for him, and so on and so forth. So everybody has been talking about the decay in the oil and gas sector, Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Besides, don't forget, even a former member of the NNPCL is currently under investigation as well by the EFCC. Talk about Mr. Farouk as well. But then again, I think it's a conversation we want to continue to have. Let's go to another story on the front page there. I would like us to touch on this one. UAE, how did you feel when you heard this story that you will no longer be able to stop over, or better still, if you don't meet the criteria? Besides, you need like, I mean, what are you, a big man? You have 17, 13 million in your account, 16 million, cooling off. Been there for how long?
6 months.
6 fresh months.
Untouched.
Untouched.
Your balance, you can spend more than that, but your balance should be 16M, aka $10,000.
The diplomatic row.
$10,000.
Unfortunately, in Nigeria, you know, when you set the criteria that you must have a certain amount of money for 6 months in your account towards getting a visa, you tend to find out that many legitimate Nigerians who want to go on business, who want to go on vacation to spend money and relax, lose the opportunities of getting visas. And what do you create? You create a system, which I have seen, I've witnessed, that encourages this corruption that we're all talking about. I remember at one time the British Embassy, and I'll mention the embassies, the British Embassy needed to call in to get an appointment, and you will find out that the numbers never got through. I remember there was also one time the American Embassy where you needed to get appointments also. So what exactly do you need? Why do I need to have $10,000
To transit.
in my account to transit because I want to fly Emirates?
Because they want to know that you are not a thief. You know, you have a lot of.
You are an
money,
upstanding citizen and you come back.
Do I have a decent job? Do I make a decent living? Am I due to go on vacation? Am I running away from where I am? And so what it just tells me is that
They don't want you.
No, we as Nigerians should stay back and build Nigeria.
But we live in
Well,
a
that's
global
very
village.
hard
I mean,
thing to
people
say.
have family
Exactly.
connection ties,
People have families
businesses.
and loved ones abroad. So it's almost impossible for us to say, you know what, to hell with them. We can't
I didn't say to hell with them.
I know. I'm just saying because
To look
to
inwards
say,
and-
okay, you know what,
yeah.
let's
Yeah,
focus
but let's
on
come back.
ourselves.
Yeah, let's first focus on ourselves and get our acts right so that these loved ones who have traveled,
But
or
shouldn't
jackpot-
the
let me
Nigerian
finish, Benga.
government-
Benga,
Yeah.
let me finish my analysis, please. These Nigerians who are jackpot will come back and see that there's so many things that you can do and build and continue to grow the economy of
But
Nigeria.
they don't have to come back, really. I mean, some people, it's the same way that there are people who have settled here and found home in Nigeria that are not Nigerians.
And so if you are settled there, then stay there. If you're settled in Nigeria, then stay in Nigeria and build your country that you have settled in. Rather, in my own opinion, give out so much money. I'm not telling you not to go visit family. Don't get me wrong. I went on vacation on myself, but I could afford it. If you can't afford it, then that's a different thing entirely. But one of the reasons that this has come about, and this is, we must always understand why some of these policies come to play. One of the reasons, in my own opinion, that these policies have come to play is the level of japa based on visiting visas that Nigerians have used to move to different countries and not come back. Why? Because they believe, in their own opinion, that there is better economic stability there. If you want to relocate to any other country, and this is my advice to you, there are processes for immigrants to go there. Go through those processes, apply through them, get all the things that are required. If you have the requisite skills for employment that they require there, try and look for employment. Otherwise, stay back and build Nigeria.
But looking at this issue, it seems highly discriminatory. And what is the flight risk of people that are transiting in a very secured airport, that they would disappear into Emirati community and then you won't find them? And should the government contest this at diplomatic levels, or just reciprocate and, you know, let's move on? Because Dubai is behaving like they are heaven, and they gave us a 2-year outright ban. It's becoming highly embarrassing, and we need to, we need to let our feelings known. It's highly discriminatory at any level you look at this policy.
First and foremost, I think there should be diplomatic dialogue, are you with me, to try and find out what exactly are the issues that the Emirati government and administrators see when it comes to Nigerians. But there are a number of things that have been published when they banned us for 2 years. One, the level or the number, an increasing number of Nigerians who have come there on visiting visas and who refuse to come back to Nigeria. The issue of Nigerians and cultism in the Emirati, in the some of the Emirate places. Issue of commercial sex work of Nigerians. So there are a plethora of issues. And when governments sit back and say, oh, it's just is another government of another country that is saying, oh, no. Why should you just ban us? We spend so much money going there, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. It's not just about money. It's about how you interact within the society and whether you're breaking rules and regulations within that
society. They should enforce their own laws and leave the rest of the Nigerians out of it. And
it's part of the things that they are doing. It's coming out with a new policy that says, for you to transit, you need $10,000 in your account.
I have not committed any crime in the Emirates. Why do I need 10,000? Deal with the Nigerians that are causing problems in your country.
Don't fly an Emirates airline.
Period.
Okay. Look for alternatives. Period.
That's what the local man will say. Bam. Finish.
Don't fly the Emirates airlines.
Let's go to another
Fly African Airlines.
I'm glad I'm not an Arsenal fan.
There's an interest. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm not flying Emirates anymore.
It's fine.
Arsenal has nothing to do with it.
I'm telling you,
well,
it has. Anyway.
No. It's fair. He can throw the punches and the jabs. They're in the final. So we'll see where it gets to.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, let's get to see the leadership newspaper. We have enough time to cover. I'd like us to cover more stories as well. Leadership newspaper. There's a story here that I'm sure Benga, Oliver, and myself have highlighted on, especially on our wake-up conversations. It's at the top right corner. Can you see it? 2027. I'll be in PDP and I work for coalition. Lamido has said. This has been...
And he took that example from the person on the right-hand side.
You saw where I was going to with this paper. The right, you can see FCTA launches Operation Sweep Abuja to rid city of miscreants and beggars. But we're focused on the pictures there. The man on the left, of course, I'll call him, would I say, yes, possibly, let's just leave him as a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, spoke yesterday and said that he was going to copy what the FCT minister has done. And we've highlighted this, that we talked about this before it even came into fruition.
Yeah, set a precedent.
We may see a precedent that has been set and will be copied by many, and now it is there. So, are we seeing a total collapse of the PDP by its own members who have decided to pull the plugs and possibly pull out the rug and allow the FCT minister, who has said he is a hencho in the party, to carry on? But they're saying we would work with the other parties, but remain in the PDP.
Yeah, last week we spoke about the possibilities of and we would use our analogy for the MPL in Nigeria, Nigerian Political League. That's what we call it. So, remember, I guess you were the one that brought it up when we talked about loanees from other clubs, and this is exactly what is happening. I remember what we said then: if we cannot get enough star players to buy them over, what do we do? It's cheaper for you to loan. So this, I guess, is what the PDP chieftain, Lamido, is talking about. The issue here, for me, is Nigeria. It's not whether it's PDP or ADC or APC. It's how you think and you feel about the governance system currently, or that has happened over the last 10 years and is currently happening in Nigeria, and which is what Lamido is speaking to. I would work for the opposition to ensure that, in their own opinion, there is a change in administration in 2027, which is fair. If he believes that the opposition coalition has or stands a better chance, oh yes, then he will encourage his supporters to go out and vote for that coalition, which is fair enough in politics. So you put your weight behind who you believe and who you think is the right man to do the job.
It's a lot.
Now, I want us to also talk on the story on the right-hand side. Mr. Wike, Operation Sweep, removing miscreants and beggars from Abuja. And a lot of people will say, you know, Lagos needs this because we have an Agbero and street urchin and miscreant problem. But how is this discriminatory? Because the Constitution says every Nigerian has a right to assemble and live wherever they want to live and things. And there are concerns that it might unfairly target people in the lower rung of society, because, I mean, there's no, anyhow you look at it, even in advanced climes, there are homeless people, there are people that are not well-to-do in New York, in London, in some of the biggest cities in the world. How do you think enforcement should be carried out?
Okay, so I haven't read the details, and I don't really know what how he plans to enforce this. But I do think that, in my own opinion, he should ensure that, yes, you need to rid them off the roads of the city. But then you need to start to provide alternatives for them. Why are there miscreants? Why are there beggars on the roads? A number of reasons, like you said, some have become homeless because of maybe current economic situation or previous economic situations. Some have become beggars either because the system does not provide enough for them towards making something of themselves. So why, if I'm blind and there are not enough blind schools for me to go and get an education and improve myself and get work and get economic value, then when you move me from here, where are you taking me to? Are you taking me to a home where at the end of the day, there's no breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there are no beds to sleep on? And so, excuse me, before we make statements, let's always juxtapose and come back to a starting point. What have you provided towards enabling an environment for these people to succeed? For instance, let me give an example. There are some handicaps who drive in Nigeria. Are you with me? But you go somewhere, you can't park because there are no handicap parkings. You go somewhere, you go to a building, there are no lifts. So the man who is on a wheelchair will have to roll his wheelchair up the staircase 4 floors to go where he's going to. And these are things that we need to, first and foremost, come back to the basics and put them in place. Before you now start saying, oh, we will read this, we will read that. And it can happen
put
to
the cart
anybody.
before the horse, yeah. basically.
Basically.
That's going to be a tough one. But then again, it kind of like reminds me of what we used to have in Lagos, Operation Sweep. In
The
Lagos.
security outfit.
Yes, security
then,
outfit that went around. But Benga also highlighted the fact that I think we really need this in Lagos. Lagos has become all of a sudden a beehive. I thought Lagos was bad.
Every traffic intersection, almost every.
I thought Lagos was really bad until we stepped our foot in Abuja. I think this was a few months ago. And guess what? Abuja is a replica of what Lagos is.
It's becoming...
Ooh, the moment the new central bus drove just by, that was when we went for the NESG. Didn't you see them? They swooped the entire bus. Give me money, give me somewhere even. I'm like, okay, is this how Abuja is now? So if the FCT minister would do it, I think I agree. But I also agree with you that it should also come to Lagos because it's starting to become a beehive.
So but I will just ask this question and then I'll try and answer it. When you get rid of them from the roads...
Yeah, you're taking them back to their states where they're coming from.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
If they had some form of things that they were doing in their states, do you think they will go somewhere that is more lucrative? They feel is more lucrative. Let me land. Like Benga said, why are we? Is it the cat before the horse or the horse before the cat? And it depends on which one you're talking about. Is it the animal or the cat that has the will? If you do not create economic empowerment and create an enabling environment for good education, are you with me? Ability for people to go through primary, secondary school and get something doing. If you don't create an opportunity for them to learn trades, which the government would say today that they are trying to encourage Nigerians with the 45,000 naira stipend that they want to pay for those who should go and learn trades. We have graduates who don't have work. Some of these people, when you check them and you call them miscreants and beggars, some of them actually graduated from tertiary institutions in this country. Have we done this analysis for us to say, okay, even when we take these people off the road, who are they? Where are they coming from? What is their background? Let's not always be in a haste to do exactly to label.
I totally agree with you. It's multifaceted, and the results of what we're seeing, able-bodied men begging on the street, miscreants, is as a result of failure in the past to provide jobs and all the things you mentioned.
But failure, I believe me, and I say this, and I think failure in the way policies are implemented and administered.
Now,
so like this now, you take a policy, or you read them off the roads of Abuja. What next?
So I agree with you, but government also has a responsibility. There is a begging syndicate. There are people that take advantage
that are benefiting.
They are
profiting from this.
And then the government also has to be responsible.
And if there are syndicates that do this, meaning that these people have created a system of business, if according to the laws of this country, it is wrong, how many investigations have been carried out by the security operatives to break these syndicates? How many people have been arrested?
I mean, that's why we're highlighting it, so they should do their jobs.
Those are things, like I said, when there's a breakdown of a system, and then you think that the easiest way is just to take the end point. Of course, the head is rotten, then the fish is completely gone.
There are also children, school-age children, young children, 3 years old, 4, that are on the streets. It's a security, it's a health hazard.
It's a
cars we could have brake failure. They shouldn't be on the highway. We say that across Lagos. So it means social services are not doing their job, because children should not be there in the first place. So there needs to be enforcement done on multiple levels, and also provide the basics.
When you want to enforce, are you with me? Then you must have made provisions across the process to ensure that when you are enforcing, what you are enforcing is those who have disobeyed the processes. If, and I say this, if school children are there, which is completely wrong, don't get me wrong, which is completely wrong, are they better off in schools? Do you even have enough schools to put them into? Now, when you put them into schools, do you have enough teachers to teach them? These are questions that are pertinent that need to be answered before you go to the end and say, okay, take everybody and move them to where? Are you not going to send them to IDP camps?
Well, anyway, let's not forget too that during Governor Fashola's time, he was able to rid off street urchins from Lagos State. I do recall also being an eyewitness where they were, put into the big trucks and told them to go back. And we also understand these are displaced persons too, but let's also not forget that the governor of these states has responsibility
and let me say this,
to care for their own people.
And let me say this, you're a lawyer. There's nowhere in the Constitution, are you with me, that speaks to my state of origin. Let my learned colleagues should please correct me if I'm wrong.
You've always had these arguments, actually.
It is a place of residence. So when you carry people and throw them into a van and move them to so-claimed state of residence, it is against the Constitution. It is against the Constitution.
Let's take our only call for this morning as we wrap up the newspaper. I have Shima calling from Benue State. Good morning, Shima. Thank you very much for calling us.
Yes. Good morning.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
We don't seem to be able to hear Shima's...
Yes, good morning, Vincent. Good morning.
I think he's... I don't know...
And your guest in the studio, okay?
All right, can you please speak up? We're struggling to hear you.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes, we can hear you now. Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Right on time. Yes, absolutely, we can. Please go ahead.
It's been a brilliant conversation you're having there, and I'm delighted that New Central is coming to Benue State to hold that town hall meeting. That town hall, it is very important.
Thank you.
It is very important because with the security challenge we are facing in Benue State, it is imperative that you come on ground and listen to the people who are experiencing this insecurity, get their own views. I heard your correspondent there. They went to the IDP centers at the international market. It is a horrible situation. We are going through a lot. So I believe this town hall is an avenue, an opportunity for our people to come out and speak clearly about what they are facing. I pray they turn up in their numbers, and I'm headed there as well.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing the outcome of this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, he said in there to find out for himself. Anyway, as we look forward to wrap up.
Actually, that serves as our last...
Are you serious? Are we wrapping up?
Yes.